Now that we are in Google's Keyword Planner, it will tell us what terms are searched, how frequently, and how much competition there are for those words. And even better, Google will suggest other words and terms that you may not have even considered. And since Google handles 80% of all search traffic in the US, they probably know a little bit about what they're talking about. So how do we start? How about with the 2 or 3 words that are at the root of what you do? If you are a marketing company that does photography, maybe those words are something like real estate marketing. If you focus on Matterport, you might think 3D home scans are better. Regardless, we need to start at the essence of what it is that you do. For this example, I will use real estate photographer. You use what works best for you. Let's put real estate photographer into the keyword field and see what Google tells you. There are 2 important results to consider to help you rate the value of the keywords: average monthly searches and competition. With this data, Google's suggestions of related terms, and your own best judgment, you should be able to get a firm handle on what terms will best drive customers to your site and how to prioritize those terms. Start by writing down those terms and putting them in an order that you think will benefit you the most. Use your own best judgment for what you think is most user-friendly. Hopefully, one keyword phrase will stand out on top as being your biggest bang for the buck. Follow that with at least 10 more phrases that you can use across your website to help drive traffic. Whatever term you feel is number 1 should be the focus keyword for your homepage. And that term should also be in your domain name. So let's say that property photography is your winner. That keyword term should feature prominently 3 to 4 times in the text of your homepage. You can use it in your text, as a section header, as alt tags for images. It's not too hard to use that term 3 times naturally. Other pages of less importance should feature less important keywords, but again, only 1 keyword focused on each page. But wait, you say, you can't put prominent keywords into something like a Contact Us page. That's too specialized of content. You're sitting there with 10 keyword phrases and only 4 pages that you can slide them into. This is where you need to get really creative, and why this whole process is a giant give and take. Decide which of those pages you wrote in Chapter 4 can be keyworded and assign the keyword that best suits them. Now you will need to make more pages for those remaining keywords. How are you going to do that? Well, let's say that one of those keywords is Twilight photography. That's so good for you. You just make a page about how you specialize in Twilight photography, and the page practically writes itself. And those keywords slip right in. It's a niche keyword and probably something with low competition. You may not get a ton of traffic for it, but you will get focused traffic for it. The more of these niche pages you can run, the wider the potential audience, even for niche services. So don't ignore low traffic pages if they have low competition. Now we need something like realty photo, and you can't just slip that into a niche page. No problemo! We also have your portfolio. Start building up your portfolio pages and slipping keywords into them. And even better, you can start slipping in alternate locations too, so you can benefit from location tagging. So if you did a home in Mill Creek, you could also do a portfolio page with the name Mill Creek Realty Photo and get those keywords in easily. The really important thing here is to make it seem natural. You will need to use that phrase in there 2 times at least. 3 is much better. So let's also talk about your domain name. Hopefully you haven't bought that yet. As you recall, property photography is the keyword we want to rule on, and you are Dandelion Photography in Provo, Utah. The ideal domain name for you might be provopropertyphotography.com. This gets all that Google loves into your domain name, but somebody else already has that domain name. So start working out your alternatives. provopropertyphoto.com, for instance, or Dandelion Provo Property Photography, or even propertyphotographyprovo.com. Or you can slip in a 2nd or 3rd string alternative. You gotta just keep working it and find something that works and sounds good. The important thing here is to have alternatives and test them out with friends. And more importantly, non-photographers. Get a lot of input, but keep your keywords in your domain name as best you can. Once you feel good about your choice, sleep on it. Buy it the next day, and then go back to Chapter 2.